don't have any strange feelings. If it appeared that I was moving slower when I moved up here, there's nothing wrong with your perception. I'm slow. But inshallah, I'll get back to myself. I got a little problem with the gout. But I've had it before, but not quite this bad, because I usually catch it before it gets to me. Pardon?
Do you take Tylenol or?
Well, I'm going to bear through it. I do if it's.
I'll check with my wife. She might have some.
Well, if so, that'll help me get through it. I thought about it, but I don't have them on hand, so I didn't worry about it. All right. So, what I want to say to you today, because today's lesson is very important. It is, continuing with the last one we had, but there's some information that we need to have added to it. Number one, I want to say this, and this might shock you, but I can't teach you Arabic. Allah will teach you Arabic if you have the right desire and attitude. He says it in the Quran, not specifically for Arabic, but for everything. He says, وَيُعَلِّمُكُمُ Wallahu ala kulli shay'in qadir. And Allah is teaching you. So the instrument, that is still Allah teaching you. But the other thing I want to say to you is that we need to have a more comprehensive understanding of language, period. Language is not something that receives a lot of priority in the lives of most people. They just use it. I say it receives priority in their lives. It has priority. But that's one of the reasons why our lives come up short of what we want, because we don't pay attention to the language. And I don't just mean English. I mean the whole of the language. But language expresses what's going on in the people who speak the language. Today we're going to continue with the conjugation process, but we want you to understand that there's more information than just the word translated. So the first thing you need to know about, and with the conjugation, we're conjugating pronoun, the verb form for pronouns. And pronouns have what we call, well, actually not pronouns, speaking is in conversation, right? And conversation has three persons. Now, you might pass this over and think it doesn't make any difference, but when you do, you're slighting yourself, so I wouldn't ignore it. There's three persons, a possibility of three persons in every conversation. This is a classification process. We're not talking about body heads. We're talking about classification of activity in the conversation. The first person in the conversation is the speaker. That makes sense, right? And if there's a conversation, then someone needs to be listening, right? That's the second person. All right. And then the third person, the third person not necessarily in every conversation, but there should be two people in each conversation, unless you're one of those persons who can only get an intelligent conversation by talking to yourself. Then you happen to be first and second person, okay? But sometimes there may be a third person in the conversation. And that third person is a person spoken of. Now, pronouns, when observed properly, have not only person, just the word itself represents person, number, that means how many it's representing, person, number, gender, person, number, gender, and I'm missing one.
Person, place, and thing.
No, that's something else. Person, number, gender. I'll think of it. Case. Person, number, case, and gender. Case. Case is how it's acted on, how the activity is taking place. If it's the doer, then it is it's nominative case. If it is receiving the action, then it's objective. If it's expressing ownership, then it's possessive. So person, number, gender, and case, all in one word. Now, we don't think about that. Well, he, let's see now, he, that's our third person. That's nominative. It's singular. We don't think about that. But all that, if you, the better, more you have that incorporated in your thinking, the more effective it will be, especially when you talk about transferring from one language to another. Then we deal with something that teachers call transference. That is where you learn something, and then you go to a new situation. You can take that which you learned in the old situation to a new situation to help you better understand it. So the better you understand English, the better you will be able to acquire Arabic. And if you don't understand English too well now, but if you work hard on understanding Arabic, it's going to make you better understand the English that you haven't understood for 20 years. I'll give you the benefit of not being a teenager, all right? Okay, so the pronoun tells us what? It tells us person, number, gender, and case. Number, you know what that is. That's the how many, okay? And in Arabic, instead of just expressing singular and plural, we have singular, dual, and plural, meaning one, two, or more. The plural is more than two. You have to be three or more, okay? All right, so I put some green writing up here to add some of that additional information. But the part when I was talking about person, number, gender, well, I do have persons up there, but I don't, and I have gender up there. I have gender. I don't have case. I do want to mention case just briefly to let you know that I'm not just talking in the wind. I have heard and still often hear intelligent, well-educated people. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm afraid the language is about to change because I've heard, we're talking about problems, we're talking about the children, our children, the parents and the children. And they say, well, what happened is the parents just not paying attention to their children. That's complete ignorance of case. They is not possessive, all right? They represents the nominative, meaning the actor. I'm trying to see if I can find, yeah, that maybe it's better. They should say their children, you understand? It's kind of what reminds me of is what I grew up under. Not my parents, but my mother taught my daddy better than that, so he probably was doing it before he married her, but she got him straight. Come on, us is going to the store. Oh, that's us's car. The old Southern bro. If you say they children, you're doing the exact same thing, and I know you have heard it. And I use that one because it's one of the most popular settings now, where we're talking about the problems, and they'll refer to the parents and they children. I'm afraid the language is going to change. I'm afraid it's going, and it can change. But in the meantime, they're wrong. I just don't want my throat to be too dry. All right, now we chose to review the conjugation of the verb, and we chose a verb that would be all of them are meaningful, but this is one that you reflect on when I do go to the second part of this. You reflect on, you remember, it'll help us to remember something that Imam Mohammed told us, and I know we always like that. I do myself. Okay, so the verb that we have on the board today, also I forgot to tell you that I was talking about pronoun, but verbs have different qualities also. One of the qualities of a verb is that it can be active, that's the most common one, or passive. Now we know it also has tense, right? Present tense, past tense, and future tense. The Arabic language reverses that. It goes from past tense because the language itself is a language that is compatible with faith. I'm telling you this so you understand that Allah wasn't just, I think I'll use Arabic. It is compatible with faith. In other words, what do you have to do in order to become a Muslim? You have to witness, right? You have to make shahada, and that's witnessing. And that's what the first thing is in Arabic, is the witness. And so the word that we used last time was fa'ala, which says, which represents the idea, he performed or he did it. All right, he did it. It's one word meaning to do, but it also is a whole sentence by itself. Each one of these words I have up here, the black words I have up here, it's a whole sentence by itself. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to stand by itself, but if you say that one, it would be, if other conversation be going on concerning, this word is halakah, which means to create. By the way, there's another word, at least one other word that I can think of right now, more than one word for create. I didn't want to use fatara because fatara is unique. It only refers to Allah's creation. Khalaqa, anyone can create like that. Khalaqa. That's why Allah said he's khairul khaliqin. He's the best of the creators. Best of the creators. So now, this khalaqa is that we have on the board here is active. And before the second part of the lesson, I'm going to show you how easy it is to change it from active to passive. All right, and then that way you'll know, so because you learn to recognize the letters and you say, well, he said that word was means to create. Then you find out, or he created, and then you find out that you see those same letters, but something else happened, and the translator doesn't say he created. Okay, well, so anyway, we'll get to that. All right, so now let's go over to the right side of the board. And that won't take long to go through this. Most times it's going to take is showing this. Remember, all of this, first of all, is past tense. That's what the PT is on your past tense. All of this is past tense. This side over here is third person. Third person meaning that it's being talked about, all right? Which is the best that man could do when he started talking was to talk about that which he did not create, right? He created nothing, so all he could do is talk about that which was around him. You see how the language itself is compatible with faith? So it starts off with past tense, and it's talking about somebody else did it. Third person, not I did. In English, they said they would present this differently. It's first person, and that's what they start off and work their way down to third person. No, it didn't start like that. It started observing what Allah had done. All right. So khalaqa means to create. Then I want to make this. It also means he created. So I want to make this mean two people created. Male now, because that's what the masculine. I mean two brothers created. All right. So it's a khalaqa. Khalaqa. Add the alif on the khalaqa, and that means two males created. I want to say three created. I still keep my khalaq here to khalaq, and I kept the same call here, but just add the khalaq. Now I'm going to say khalaqu, the ooh, and the ooh onto it. Now I pointed out to you last time that these were the forms that changed the number, the the ooh, and so on and down to get down to the feminine. But what I want to do today is I want to get through so I can show you how to get to the passive form and what the passive form does to the whole meaning. This is active, meaning that he did it, two brothers did it, three or more brothers did it, all right? Now I want to say she did, she created. I said khalaqat, to add a ta with no vowel, khalaqat. And that means she, single, did it. Done already, or past tense. I want to say two sisters did it. I said khalaqatah, meaning two females created. Now, we're at a point now, I pointed out to you last time, I'm going to do it again because it's always good to repeat, that from here on, the third root letter is going to be sukoon. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From the sixth one on, remember we kept the vowel here and here, then we changed the vowel to ooh, then went back to the vowel here, and here, but now we're going to take the vowel off of the third root letter completely. And for the rest of this conjugation, this is going to be halak now. And that means more than three or more females did it. And that's what the plural means, three or more. And it's past tense, all right? Now, the rest, as I said, the rest of them, now, by the way, this completes third person. That's what I want. This side over here, I didn't deliberately just wound up like that, so this is good. The first side would be just be the third person. I was just trying to get it up here as neat as I possibly could. Excuse me. So now, this side completes third person. This is third person masculine singular, third person masculine dual, third person masculine plural, third person feminine singular, third person feminine dual, third person feminine plural. That's what you see. If I didn't have this green writing up here, that information would still be there. All right? The green writing just lets you know the additional information that's in that word. All right? All right, now we're going to second person. That's the person that's spoken to. And we say, what's going to happen with all of the second and first person? What's going to happen? Anybody remember? From here on out, sukoon on the third root letter. So it's going to be kalak, all the way down. Kalak something, all right? No more kalaka. Kalak, okay. So now, I'm talking to one brother, and I'm saying to him that he created. I say, halak ta. Yes, ma'am.
You said number 2, you're talking to?
That's what the second person is talking. The person spoken to. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the definition of what a second person is. That's the person that's spoken to.
So the
Over here?
Number 2 is here.
No,
Over here. Or you're number.
I'm over here. Now, I was getting ready to go over here, but if you need to back up, we can do so.
No. I'll catch up.
All right.
But for number 2, right where you at right now,
Uh-huh.
you should plug this.
Okay. This is.
I have bed, but I'm trying to find it, trying to see where you at right now.
I'm on the first line. When I said second person, that's the information over here.
Okay.
Eh,
And the first one is how you pronounce it?
This, kalakta.
Okay.
Remember, all this was talked about. From here down to here is going to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 where we're going to be talking to. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of these are talked to, and then these will be the speakers themselves. Singular speaker and 2 or more speakers. All right? I think we can get this better over here. All right. Any other questions on that? And don't hesitate. Yes, sir.
Just an observation, the dual person, female, past tense, and the male dual past tense, you both have them written.
They're exactly the same. Yes, sir. They're exactly the same. But rather than just tell you that I wrote them both. But yeah, that's the only thing that's exactly the same. And that is the dual on male and female second person. They're exactly the same. If you think anything else is exactly the same, you need to look at it closer and question me on it, and I'll show you what the difference is. But yes, dual, second person, masculine and feminine are both the same. Okay? Both the same. All right? Okay. So now we have halakta, meaning I'm talking to a brother and I said you created. Okay? And I say halaktumah. I'm talking to 2. Now, it could be male or female, but because we'll find out later, it's going to say the same tumah. But I'm just, right now, I got it up here with the male, all right? Halaktumah, that's 2 male. I'm telling 2 males in there. Now I want to tell 3 or more that you created. And we do create stuff and don't even know we've created it. We create most of the confusion in our lives. And then so, Lord have mercy. Why don't you have mercy on yourself? Well, I just had to get a little football in there. Okay. That's what I said to myself about this God. I should have mercy on myself. I ate a whole roll, ate 14 fig bars and coffee. Okay. And woke up the next morning because it had been building up. It wasn't just the food, but those 14 fig bars just knocked it out. And coffee. Nobody was there for me. And I didn't, by the way, I didn't line up 14 fig bars. But one more wasn't going to hurt, was it? Right. One more, how's one more going to hurt, you know? Especially ain't nobody looking. Okay. So now, the plural for you is you masculine is kalaktum. Kalaktum. Now notice that the kalaktum is the same as tumah, except it don't have a long a after. So you're in the same category, but here it limits it to 2, and then here it's limitless. Okay, kalaktumah. All right. Now we go to second person feminine, and I say, and I have written here kalakti. The difference between feminine and masculine is ta, ti. Ti for feminine, ta for masculine. Now that's not only with this word, that's even in giving the greetings. When we give the greetings, if we want to speak to one person, we will wind up saying assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum. That's what we're saying. But it will be written assalamu alaikum or assalamu alaikum. If we don't speak to one person, though, in case you didn't know that, you might have in your mind that you're speaking to one person, but you're actually speaking to all creation around you and that person. You say assalamu alaikum. That's all around you. And that's why, and I show you, no, we say that and don't be nobody there but you. Right? That was fine too. I mean, I'm sorry, when we finished prayer, right? We made taslim. And nobody in the room but you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. All right? So understand that so we get a better understanding of our greeting. All right, now, so collect. T is feminine, singular, past tense. Collect tumah, which is the same as the tumah up here. Collect tumah is feminine, dual, past tense. And then collect tunna. Collect tunna is feminine, plural, past tense. All right? That's all of the second person. Now the first person is collect two. Look at how close those are together. Second person masculine, second person feminine, and then first person. They all look alike except what? What's the difference in those three? Vowel sign where? At the end. That's at the end. Ta, ti, tu. Ta is for you. Ti is for you feminine. Ta for you masculine. Ti for you feminine. And tu for first person. Tu for first person. And it can be masculine. Notice I got masculine and feminine. So collect tu would be masculine and feminine, singular, past tense. And then collect na. Collect na is masculine and feminine, plural, past tense. Now comes the magic that we want to do. And this won't take long, and I hope that the bullpen is warmed up, because I'm getting ready to get off the mound. All right. This first one I wanted to, well, first of all, all I'm doing is erasing the vowel off the first two letters. And I'm going to put them in red so that you can plainly see what they are. And we want to make it passive, meaning it happened. Passive meaning it happened to them. See? It happened to them. They didn't do it. Anybody remember that word before? This is from a very powerful talk Imam Mohammed gave. Yeah, all of them are powerful. Oh, I have enough water, but I won't need any more. No, I won't need. Oh, yeah, okay. I can take that. Yeah. I thought you just bring me some more water. But I'm almost done now. How many of these supposed to take? Two. That's around there. I have to have dance after. Y'all got an after party? Okay. Oh, I feel better already. Okay, just yeah. All right, thank you. So now, I'm asking some of those who read a little bit, not enough, those who read a little bit. That first word up now, who can pronounce that first word? I told you before I changed the vowel, it was kolikah. What is it now? Kulikah. You don't remember? Do you remember that from the tongue? Y'all, I can hear Imam saying it right now. Kulikah. I'll give you the phrase that he was giving it from the Quran. Kulikah insan ad-da'ifa. And that's directly out of the Quran. Kulikah insan ad-da'ifa. And he was making a point about the passage. It says, it doesn't say who did it. It just says who it was done to. Kulikah insan ad-da'ifa. Then, you know, you can say, why was that important? Because the word that is da'ifa. Da'ifa means to be weak. To be weak. As a matter of fact, the form that is used to refer to those who receive the rule of the heavens and earth says mustadafin, and that's those who have made themselves weak. Because Allah didn't say He did this. Kulikah. You remember? I can just hear him like He didn't say He did it. It's done. In other words, man is weak, but it's his own doing. It's not Allah's doing. It depends on which line of thinking and everything you go to. I'm not talking about physically weak now. I'm talking about weak now in his character. You're not weak in character. You make yourself weak in character by that's what you think on. Remember that little book? I can't think of the man, James, somebody, as a man thinketh, the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. That's what you think on. That's what's going to manifest out in your behavior, and your behavior is going to then manifest out into character. That's it. You want to change your character, change your behavior. You want to change your behavior, change your thoughts. You want to change your thoughts, I mean, check what comes. When something comes, don't say, oh, it must be a good thing. Ain't nothing wrong with it because I thought of it myself. you forgot about the West Wisu, didn't you? West Wisu, Shaitan, whispers. That's all he do. That's all he can do. He can't make you do nothing, but he can whisper. And he whispers. They translate say he whispers into the hearts of men, but not the qalb, which is that which can change. That's the heart that Allah revealed it on his qalb. This is let's say what's we say sudu. That's the cavity. Sudu, subdivide the cavity where the heart is. If he could whisper directly into our heart, we wouldn't have a chance. But it's not wrong that they say heart, but just so that you know, it's not all the way in the heart, but it's so close until you might think if you don't give it some thought, you would think it's yours. You would think the idea is yours, because it comes up so close in that sudu, in the cavity. All right. So that was a nice little khutbah. Okay. Yeah. So kulikah then makes it past tense. So now instead of saying he created, it's saying he was created. All right. And we go down the line. I'm going to do a few of them just to show you. We go down the line. It will be the same thing. We just change the first two vowels they change the first vowel to u and the second vowel to I. And that's how you're going to see this in the Quran, and that's the reason why I say you see, if you see these letters and you don't notice that it's kulikah rather than kolikah, then you're going to be misunderstanding. All right. Any questions then about passive as compared to active? Active is the one who is actually doing it. In this case, the one who actually did it, because we're talking about the past tense. But active and passive can be in all all three tenses also. Even though, just to remind you again, even though we know that there are how many tenses? There are actually two. We say three in grammatical explanation, but there are actually only two. You remember that? Because the one that we call present is not present. It's past already. By the time we recognize it's already done, right? Any further questions on this? And we could go right down the line, and I would suggest to you, choose verbs and then convert them from active to passive, just for practice. You know, someone told me, I want to learn this language. And I said, good. But then I didn't say anything because I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But you heard those sayings that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When you're ready, Allah will appear. Allah will appear. That's right. And don't discount it because it may be a little. He'll bless you with a little bit. Yes, ma'am.
Did you say? Repeat that.
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Okay.
There was some philosopher
Yes, sir.
who said that. I don't say I think maybe it's Socrates. I think maybe they give him credit for it. But Allah tells us the same thing. You know. But yes, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So whenever we are ready, and I'm going to say this to you because I got to say this because it's kind of in my family. One of my children, good children, was concerned about something that the minister, at least they say the minister put out. I don't know, I didn't even see it. But they say he's advocating that the people start throwing Molotov cocktails and stuff because they were dying anyway. I don't know whether he said it or not, but what I have to say to my daughter is, you need to get deeper understanding than just what you hear come over the rostrum. You need to study for yourself so that you get understanding from Allah. Yes, all this confusion